Good day and good evening. Welcome to another Foxgirl Comfy Hours Just Chatting stream. Well, today we're just here to chill a little bit before the inevitable doom that is still yet to come for me. Tomorrow specifically, where I will get my wisdom teeth removed, and then I'll be a few days gone. I don't know. Hopefully it won't take that long, since I know people, the doctor said my teeth are, we don't really have to do a lot of operating and stuff and blah blah, so hopefully it won't be as bad as it could be for some other people. Also, since today is just a just chatting stream, I can just go ahead and show you more of my kimono right away. I can just zoom out right away, since I don't have to stay in this position just for playing games. Anyways, nice of you to be here today as well. Mr. Gencat and Mr. Railgun, good day to you guys. Thanks for showing up. Today we're just going to have some light-hearted, we're always light-hearted, we're always talking about light-hearted stuff. We would never talk about stuff like, I don't know, Kitsune Empire politics and trying not to get caught when you're, you're quite hungry, and then you go ahead and do something that maybe in some countries wouldn't be considered legal, but in other countries it very much is. Wait, let me think about that. Is that actually illegal? I mean, we all know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, I mean, at the very least, it's legal in the Kitsune Empire, at the very least. Anyways, that wouldn't be like me if I said, I'm not interested in the tasty, you know? Some good and friendly tasty is something we all need. I mean, that's also why I definitely, like today, my mom came to me and brought me a little bit of soup. And even though I'm not really a big soup enjoyer, but it is very nice of her, since you have some problems with your teeth, or maybe you don't want to use them too much, and you're having a few problems and a little bit of pain, then maybe soup is probably a good idea. And on the other hand, I think I would probably enjoy soup more often if I wouldn't consider it like I wouldn't consider soup a main dish. Do you consider soup a main dish? Well, maybe if it's like a big soup with some extra chunky, I don't know, extra stuff in there, chunks of meat and maybe potatoes and something and vegetables, maybe then. But isn't that like, I forgot the word, but isn't that then considered like a different dish? Then it's not soup anymore. If it's too much like big stuff inside the soup, then it's not considered soup anymore. Then the soup is only like sauce, right? At which point, well, where's the cutoff point actually, where we go from soup to sauce? These are the questions that keep me up at night, but also whether I will be able to eat some cool stuff tomorrow as well, but mostly soup. By ordering clothes in the soup store. Soup is good for easy feeding. It can be, yeah. I mean, soup is cool, I guess. To be honest, I've tried some soup before. Let me think. Like when we had a big family meeting, and then I don't know, there was like a multiple course meal, and the first course was actually some soup with also some what are they called in English? Dumplings? Maybe dumplings. I'm not so sure actually, but I'm sure it's gonna be great. Let's all have some soup. Solidarity soup. We're all going to have a soup day in the Kitsune Empire. Mourning for the Kitsune Empire princesses. Wisdom teeth. Oh boy. Soups can have chunks, sauces should not. Well, I mean, but you can put sauce to other stuff. So I don't know if you have like a big pile of meat and then you put some sauce on that, then that's not a soup, that's sauce, right? Because the liquid, the sauce is not the main thing. But if the liquid is the main thing, then it's a soup, right? I just had some breakfast burrito in honor of you. Nice. I hope that tasted well. I have to think about this. I'm actually not that sure if I've eaten a burrito before. Maybe once, but not anymore. I think probably at best one time in my entire life. Like, food like that is actually not that common where I live, which is kind of a shame. We need more. We need more Middle and South Americans to bring some cool food over here, please. You guys, please come over and bring some of your food. Like, I feel like that is the best part about meeting new people and then learning about new cultures. Bring all the food, because food is something like it's different everywhere, but it's always amazing at the very least if you get the stuff that people actually choose to eat. There's always some parts where you're like, oh well, we're eating this because it's because it's there and it fills the belly, right? But the good, the luxury food a little bit, I mean, not only luxury, but also just the food that people love is always great, right? Contact you on Twitter on what the burrito looked like. Oh, you can do that indeed. But also, I feel like I've seen burritos a few times in games. The last time I've seen a burrito in games was actually Star Citizen, which is hilarious. I remember it. That was like, I don't know, $10. Wait, or was it 10 or 8 space dollars for one burrito? I'm not quite sure. How many space dollars for a burrito though? But on the other hand, like, if I remember correctly, you could buy actually a not insignificant amount of fuel for your spaceship with the same amount of money you pay for one space burrito. I wonder, like, could I eat something like a burrito while my wisdom teeth are out? I mean, in general, I think I probably will have trouble eating solid food for at the very least the first day or something, probably because of the swelling, right? I hope there won't be too much swelling, but I don't know. I mean, that's why I have this soup. I mean, you can already tell that I'm struggling a little bit to get hyped for the soup. I'm like, yeah, let's go get some freaking soup over here. I love that stuff, man. Give me more of that soup. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit of a archaic person. I love to put my teeth into some tasty meat and then get a bite out of it, which is actually a little bit paradoxical, but because on the other hand, I don't really like getting my hands dirty. So let me think about this. How can I bite right into a piece of meat but not get my hands dirty while doing it? But also really don't like getting my mouth dirty, so to say. Which is, I mean, we're eating, so sometimes stuff happens, right? One thing leads to another, and then you have a little bit of blood on your mouth and stuff and so on until you get to the liver, and then you're like, yeah, that's some good shit, and then you leave the guy. I mean, what? Burrito is pretty rough. Noodles are soup too, and sourdough soup. Never heard of sourdough soup, actually. What's in there, actually? Noodles are soup too. I'm not sure I can agree with that. Like, noodles are still kinda solid. I mean, you can slurp the noodles down, but I don't really remember, I don't know, just slurping them noodles down without actually, biting them off or something. Use fork and a knife. I mean, I'm already eating pizza with fork and knife, and I'm actually quite happy with that. works well. So it's gonna be fine. But in general, like I've definitely like in the past I've just, I don't know, cooked like normally for my region, I would say, but in the recent years I've definitely like changed to a position where I'm just cutting everything into bite-sized stuff. Like I feel like one of the positives of getting to know more Asian food was like getting that kind of mindset that you can't just cut everything into bite-sized bits. Like I was like, oh, my Central European mind was like, oh, you can actually cut stuff into pieces while you're cooking, like before you're cooking it, and then after you cooked it, you can just put it in your mouth and don't have to cut it yourself. Oh my god, that is genius. Oh my god, how's that possible? Ah, look who's there, Mr. Garden is here as well. Noodles can be a part of soup, but then isn't then noodle soup, is that not like actually called like a combined term? Now that I think about it, I mean, in Germany we definitely have like a combined term, Nudelsuppe. Noodle soup definitely is something that's kind of combined, but that just means that it's not just soup because it has too much solid stuff in it, and that means we're getting away from prime soup, so to say. Soup is half of a noodle dish. I wouldn't say so. There's some noodle dishes where you don't have any soup or stuff like that. Like if you just make some spaghetti with some pesto, and then you don't really have soup in there. It's just like, I don't know, aromatic, nice stuff on top of sticking to your noodles, but it's not really, strictly speaking, soup or sauce, right? Pizza with a fork and knife. Angry Italian American noises. What are you talking about? That just means I'm classy, right? I'm sure the Italians don't mind if you eat pizzas with fork and knife, as long as they don't not eating pineapple pizza, right? Should be fine. Yeah, over here on the other side, in the Twitch chat, Spectre flows. Good day to you. Hopefully you're having a very chill day. Tuesday. Perhaps I'm allowed to actually wish people a chill day on Tuesdays. I'm not sure. I'm probably not allowed to wish people a comfy day on Monday, even though I still do it since it's an evil day of the week. But I'm sure Tuesday, I'm sure we're all settled in, and now we can try and, that's right. Noodles, the Asian dish, is a soup dish. I mean, the Asian dish maybe, but if we're talking noodles, then we have both like the Asian and the European stuff together, right? I mean, you'd have to distinguish specifically. Italian Americans hate using anything for their pizzas other than hands. I don't know. But what about the Italians that are still in Italy, though? What about them, though? Might as well be eating spaghetti with your hands. European noodles aren't called noodles. What are you saying? Those are called spaghetti. No. European noodles aren't called just spaghetti. Spaghetti is one form of European noodles. Please. If there's some Italians here in chat, they will definitely be angry if you say all European noodles are called spaghetti. Please. There are many Italian, like, different kinds of noodles. Like, I'm not even a big noodle person. I know like different stuff, like not just spaghetti, but also rigatoni and other stuff, right? What are the ones called that are filled? The filled Italian noodles. I forgot about them, even though I had them just, I don't know, a month ago or something. I've never heard of European noodles in my life. What? What are you? You're strange. You're definitely a little bit strange over there. I thought the Dutch loved importing stuff, and that's why they went around the world. They just didn't look at other European countries, apparently, because that was too close and too boring. Those have their own names, but I have never heard of a European dish being referred to as noodles. What? Pasta. Pasta, please. That's just, I mean, that's just a different word. Italians changed the shape of the noodle and giving it a completely different name, but I mean, yeah. If you're changing the shape of stuff, why wouldn't you specify it as something different? Like, especially if it has like different fillings and so on. So pasta is called pasta, and that's just the Italian word for noodles, right? It's not like, I don't know, you don't, I don't know. Well, I mean, in other languages it's not called pasta. We just say pasta because it's cool, because Italians say it, and they have like a big pasta culture, right? But it's not like, I don't know. What do you mean pasta is pasta? So you're saying that pasta is something different than noodles? Explain yourself. I request elaboration. This Kitsune wants to know what you're actually thinking. I'm not so sure if I can trust you over here. Maybe it's just different in German. It's definitely different in German, I would say. Well, you can go ahead and tell me what it's like in Dutch, because in German we just call it Nudeln. And then we call it like we say, oh, today we have noodles, and then people ask what kind of noodles, and then we say, oh, we got spaghetti, or we got rigatoni, or we got something else, right? But it's all called noodles. I've never heard Dutch or English use the word noodles or anything other than Asian noodles. What? That's silly though. Yuki-me, good day to you as well. Hopefully having a very chill Tuesday. And you peeps argue among themselves. Well, excuse me, you called yourself an Italian American, so now and now suddenly you're acting like you're not like a little bit European anymore. First you say, oh, well, I as a Italian, well, like, effectively you said I as a European American, and then you said, actually I'm not. Anyways. I'm just saying, noodles is just the overarching term, right? And if you have noodles, those can mean a great many things. And noodles are not just being used to refer to Asian kind of noodles. I mean, that's just silly. That's like you saying, I don't know, like let's say, I don't know, for example, if you say, this is the same thing as if someone was saying, oh, you've got a nice cell phone, and then someone says, no, it's an iPhone. And then I'm like, but that is still a cell phone. And you're like, no, it isn't. It's an iPhone. It's not a cell phone. And I'm like, oh, okay, man, calm down, man. But cell phone is just like a gathering term for all the stuff, right? So you don't gotta be like that, man. And I'm just used like a broader term for it. And you're like, nah, it's specifically that one and not another stuff. I've never had it being referred to as this before. I'm just saying. The EU peeps. Yukimi is from the EU too. Good to know. Then maybe Yukimi can chime in with an opinion about if someone is saying they are talking about noodles. If you're talking about noodles, if you're using that word specifically, are you only talking about Asian noodles? Like Asian dishes with noodles? Or are you talking also about European noodle dishes? Like, I don't know, Italian stuff, for example. Like, it's literally in the name. They're all noodles. So we're all human beings around here. I mean, except me, of course, since I'm a kitsune, but you're all human beings and a cat. And so I'm just saying it doesn't make sense, because that's literally meant to be a gathering term, like a broad gathering term for all these things, and then you can get down and be more specific for the other stuff if you want to, right? I'm just saying. That doesn't make sense to differentiate that much. We're all noodle enjoyers one way or another, maybe, but just, I don't know, it's more a little bit more specific than... Oh, I just remembered another noodle kind, the ones that are actually filled. Tortellini, also Italian. I usually call them pasta. I thought Asians call them noodles, but I might be wrong, never thought of that. But what's your native tongue? Because in my native tongue, it's definitely not being, like, we're not calling all European noodles pasta. Because, like, there are other European noodles than just the Italian ones, right? And it would be strange to call all European noodle dishes pasta. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Italians would like that, because then it would be like, I don't know, cultural victory kind of aspect or something when you're playing, I don't know, one of these strategy games or something. But it's just in general. You also have a special name for them. Oh, unfortunately, those are a lot of special signs there, and I will not even dare to try to attempt to pronounce it correctly. God damn. I'm just saying. Just search it. Alright, let me actually quickly grab that word over here. And then, let's see. I'll put it in the browser. And just let me tell Google, let's see, show me some pictures. Oh, yes, alright. Those look like noodles to me. I'm just saying, those look like noodles to me. Alright, let me just quickly get over here. Okay, look at this. I put it into Google, and I put it on pictures, and now I'm like, alright, sure looks like noodles to me. Am I supposed to call them something different than noodles? Because I'm pretty sure that's what they are, right? I'm just saying. It looks a lot like noodles to me. Or am I wrong? See, it's just a word. You don't have to be, I don't know. We don't have to be divided. We can all enjoy noodles. It's just like a different term, right? It's gonna be fine. We don't have to make differences. Let us all be united in our love for different kinds of noodles. Let me think about. I think the noodles I eat the most are probably spaghetti. I mean, no, not probably, definitely. In my life, I've definitely eaten more spaghetti than any other kind of noodles. Or, if you want me to go that far, pasta. Let me think. I mean, I think the second most eaten pasta in this case actually is probably rigatoni for me. First place spaghetti, second place rigatoni, and then third place probably tortellini. I think. Makes sense, yeah. And the funny thing is, I don't think in my entire life I've never bought tortellini for myself. They've always been gifted to me or made for me. So I actually never went out of my way to buy tortellini by myself, but they can still taste nice, especially if they have meat fillings. That makes it great. Told ya. I mean, we also share pizza and pasta as a term. Ah, we don't. I see, that's interesting, because my language, I mean, in Germany we don't, I mean, we share the term pizza because we don't have another term for that. But yeah, we just say the German word for noodles, for pasta. I mean, if someone says pasta, then it's just a little bit extra, like, look at me, how sophisticated and knowledgeable I am. I eat pasta. I don't eat noodles. Yeah, I know Italian, by the way. It's a little bit how that feels, at the very least for us. Probably different in English and other countries, maybe. You might as well share noodles as an universal term, if anything. Yeah. My favorite is carbonara, second is pesto, third is arrabbiata. Ah, interesting. Let me quickly actually check arrabbiata, because I don't think I remember what that one looks like. Right, we're getting back into the browser. Let's see. Pasta arrabbiata. Let's see. Over here. Oh, so that's with rigatoni. Nice. So that's... looks pretty nice. Probably a little bit of tomato sauce in there. And also looks like we have a little bit of... what's that? I'm not sure if you have the same word for that cheese. Parmesan? I wonder if you pronounce it the same way or you have the same word. But at the very least... I don't know. Looks a little bit like spaghetti bolognese, but with rigatoni. I'm not sure if that's, I don't know, offensive, but I thought it looked pretty close to that. Just, I don't know, you swap the spaghetti for the rigatoni and there you go. Ara pasta? Now, I would love some ara pasta, but I'm not sure. Use parmesan also? I see. Then at least that wasn't as wrong as it could have been. Let's go. What does ara pasta look like? I mean, to begin with, it would have to be some... I mean, just by merit of the two names, it would be Japanese-Italian blend, right? Because ara is Japanese. And then pasta is Italian. So we're having a kind of cooperation of two noodle countries over here. Sounds pretty interesting and exciting. Let's see. Let me think about this. I mean, but how can you make them go together? If one of them... Maybe, since we're using the word pasta, maybe we should be using a form of Italian noodles as the base, and then the way in which we're like cooking them is the way of cooking them. So it's like it's an Italian noodle, but we're cooking it in the Japanese way. That's how it sounds like to me. Have you seen the way pesto looks? Oh yeah, I've eaten a few different pestos before. First I was afraid to even try it, lol. It's completely green. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's difficult for me to think about what I felt like the first time I checked out pesto, because now it's been a few years and I'm like, I don't remember the first time I checked out pesto, but it was quite nice. And I mean, I'm trying to empathize with myself before I knew what pesto tasted like and I just saw it for the first time, and then I was probably like, but that's not really sauce. How does that work? Is that going to taste good? It's just so green. And then I was like, this is kind of nice. But also, I feel like spaghetti with pesto is one of those foods that I feel like the first few bites taste amazing, but I can't eat too much of it, because if I eat too much of it, I kind of get, I don't know, somehow I feel strange and weird then. I get sick of it pretty quickly, but it tastes so good, like in the early and medium term. Ara pasta is when it's cooked by a big mommy energy tall lady. I see. Is that how it goes? I see. So the first part is what we're cooking, and the second part is who's cooking it. I see. That's how it is. We'll see about that. At the very least, maybe in the coming days I'll be able to enjoy some ara soup then. Right, somehow ara soup sounds way more suggestive than ara pasta. I think I'm not going to continue thinking along this path, otherwise I'll get into some strange thoughts, which I'm definitely not ready for. Anyways, we're leaving the ara soup behind now. We're only thinking about the pasta. I mean, or maybe only soup. Oh my god, I don't want to eat soup though. I just want to keep eating tasty meat and vegetables. Like, I love just having something that I can properly bite into. Maybe I can't properly speak, but at the very least I can properly bite. At least that much I can do. I'm a fox. I'm gonna bite what I want to eat. By the way, how come you just chat and not play anything? Well, today is my last stream before the big wisdom teeth ouchie, which is tomorrow. And I have to get up very early. So I decided, normally I always like to play games. But if I don't have as much time, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, an hour or two, then I feel a little bit strange starting up a game. I feel like I barely get into the game and then I already have to get out again. Like, usually, for example, recently I've played a lot of Monster Hunter World, and there it feels like, alright, I'm doing my intro, I talk a little bit, and then I get to my hunt, and then I feel like, it's already been 1 hour and I've only completed one hunt, and I feel like just a single hunt is not a lot of time, or at least it didn't feel like one. And then I'm like, oh my god, I want to get properly into the game and kind of properly get into the focus and mindset, and it feels like if I'm playing just a little bit, then I feel like I barely got into it and got the kind of good feeling of being really, really immersed, right? The first one, the first hunt is to warm up, and the second hunt is where we get to have fun then. Usually, maybe, it depends. But anyways, that's kind of how I feel about it. If I don't have too much time, then I feel like, yeah, it's kind of nicer to just have a little bit of talk, because then I don't feel like I have the pressure of, oh, maybe I should finish this kind of hunt before I go, or maybe I have to finish a little bit more story or this kind of quest before I go and something. I can just say, whoop, alright then, time's up, I can now go, and thank you very much for watching. So that's the freedom. The freedom of being able to do that, and also not feeling strange for only maybe streaming a little bit. That is why I'm currently doing a just chatting stream. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. The doctor told me, like, because like I said that I'm a 1 meal a day person, I think I mentioned it, or he just said, I'm not sure how we got to it, because I said that I didn't have anything to eat when I got to the doctor for the first time. And then he said I should definitely have a breakfast before getting, coming over to get the wisdom teeth out. And that's why I have to get up even earlier, since I'm not used to having breakfast. And now I have to plan in some extra time so I can maybe have some nice breakfast, so I don't, I don't know, maybe so I don't faint or something. Get your circulation going before you get your wisdom teeth pulled out. Mr. Rectangle is here as well. Good evening to you too. Hopefully you have a chill Tuesday. Good luck with your operation. Thank you. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, since the doctor said it's the wisdom teeth are fortunately are all like grown out, meaning we don't have to cut any. I don't even want to get into that stuff. I don't know. I can watch gameplay of someone sawing someone in half with a chainsaw. But when someone tells me, oh, we're just going to use a little bit of a itsy bitsy tiny surgeon knife and we're just going to make a small little incision here, and then I'm like, no, and when I think about it, oh my god, I don't know, I'm just a little bit skittish with that kind of stuff for some reason. Maybe it's because the kind of brutality that you see in games is sometimes so over the top that you kind of feel like it's unreal and you can't really empathize with it. But stuff you've already, like, I know, stuff you've already kind of experienced, like with just doctor stuff, surgeon stuff, maybe it just feels too real, and that what actually makes me empathize and think about it in a realistic way. It usually doesn't hurt that much when they're grown out. Yeah, I hope it's the same, and I will be back and will be back to screech more again, like on I don't know, people playing League of Legends with me or something. That would be fun. I'd rather screech at those rather than screeching because I'm hurting. These are one of those uncomfortable things to think about. Now let me think about that. Is there ever like a situation where you're thinking about teeth in a good way? I think you might actually be right with that. If I'm thinking about it, there's never, I don't know, like a moment where you say, oh, this and this is good with my teeth. Usually you're just happy that things are good and then you don't talk about it. But if you talk about it, it's usually something negative, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the streets, right? You're like, when the streets are good, when they are well maintained and there's no problem with the streets, just say, oh, okay, cool, it's a street, right? I'm just gonna drive over it and I'm gonna go and do my business, I don't know, driving over the street, and that's it. But if it has, I don't know, some holes in it and some canyons maybe, then you're like, man, this is a bad street. You don't actually talk about this usually, only if there's something negative about it. True, actually. Worst case scenario, you are sounding a bit funny for a few days. Yeah. I imagine that might be the case. Let me actually go ahead and read your post in the way you've written it. Worst case scenario, you are sounding a bit funny for a few days. Very beautiful, indeed. I hope I won't be forced to talk like that for long if that is the case, but I doubt it, because, I don't know, I don't feel like my wisdom teeth are specifically important for how my speech sounds, I assume, because I have all the rest of my teeth, so it's gonna be fine. So if anything, it's probably more about if there's any swelling and how bad it is and so on. Channeling the inner Sean Connery. Really? Did he talk like that? I think now it's actually difficult, because I don't think I've heard Sean Connery actually in his original voice talking a lot, because like in the past I've watched some old movies with my mom, and there he was like, we had the German dub, so obviously it wasn't actually Sean Connery's real voice. So now I'm just now realizing that I have no idea what real Sean Connery's like true voice actually sounds like, and his manner of speech. Wasn't he Scottish? But I'm not sure actually, but I thought Scottish sounded a little bit different. I thought people always use the Scottish accent for dwarves and stuff, and not sure. I recommend Red October in English. Oh, I've actually heard about that. That actually sounds like a good idea actually, because that's like a historical movies. Sounds pretty cool. Good idea actually. Hopefully I'll remember it. A Scottish guy speaking Scottish on a Russian submarine. Yeah. Actually, the funny thing is, I think I've watched a video essay about that movie in the past, And there it was like, they talked about how they did that with the English and the Russian, and I was like, at first, I mean, apparently that's how they described it in the video, but they started like letting people talk in Russian voices, and then they have like a cut, and now everyone speaks English, just to show that actually all of this is taking place in Russian, but we're using English now, so that you can actually enjoy the movie without subtitles, I guess. Give me one ping, Vasily. Poor Vasily has to be pronounced Vasily now. Oh, that's gonna be great, actually. Let me quickly go ahead and note that down. Alright, watch Red October in English. I mean, at this point, I'm anyways just watching all my movies in the native tongue most of the time. I mean, let me think about this. I say I watch most of my movies in the native tongue that they are made in, but I'm wondering, do I even watch any movies that are like not made in like the USA or England, like in the Anglosphere? Because I struggle to think of a movie I have watched in recent years that isn't made with English as the native tongue. Because, I would actually like maybe enjoy watching a French movie in the original dub, but then I'd need subtitles, definitely. Enjoy and tell me how you liked it. We'll come back to that. Hopefully I won't forget over all the tantrums thrown and all the pain and all the immature whining. Oh no, it hurts so much. Oh no, how can I ever get... I'll never recover from this. Blah blah blah. Parasite, Korean movie. I have had one of that movie as well. Didn't it also win at least one Oscar or something? I think like maybe even 2 Oscars. One of the Oscars was from Best Foreign Language Movie, I think. And I've heard many like good things about that movie. That's just a really good movie. I should also watch that at some point. Good idea, actually. Let's note that down as well. But I mean, the funny thing is that in recent years, I kind of feel like I stopped watching. I don't know, I don't watch as many anime series anymore, and I don't watch as many movies anymore. I mostly really watch documentaries, like historical and stuff, and also guides for games, and also video essays about stuff like but specifically normal series, like live action series and anime series and movies. I don't watch them as much anymore, not as much as I used to when I was a little bit younger. Like nowadays, if I imagine watching the entirety of the Naruto series, I would be like, no man, that's too much. That takes too much time. And I don't know. And then I remember, I don't know, getting home from school and actually watching Naruto on the internet. I don't actually know. I don't think I ever watched any Naruto in German television. I'm not sure when that was or when it actually aired. But I did actually see some videos on YouTube on about the German dub of Naruto, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of rough, not gonna lie. And this is hard to listen to. But seriously, man, just, I don't know, I had basically, it's difficult to remember when I actually started watching Naruto. When I started watching Naruto, Shippuden was already out, but I don't remember how far into the Shippuden anime it was. But it was definitely with Shippuden already released, already ongoing, but it wasn't finished yet. And that's when I started watching Naruto on the internet. have a good point. It's time to no live marathon again. I'm not sure, actually. I feel like these days I'm just, I don't know, I always feel like I'm kinda so interested in watching something that's at least a little bit educational, even if it's just deceptive. Like, for example, now that we have a new champion in League of Legends, I really enjoy watching some high elo streamers and players just go ahead and try their hand at a new champion and use him in the best way. And that's something I always enjoy, because I always want to I want to see what they do. Like what they do specifically in gameplay, and also what builds they're using, what ability they're maxing first, and so on. It's just something really, I don't know, rewarding for me to watch. I feel like I'm learning, even though it's just for a game. I'm going through One Piece finally. Oh my god, I'm kind of afraid. I tried getting into One Piece like 2 times. First, I've watched like the anime series, just a few episodes, and then I was like, oh man, they have filler as well and stuff, and it takes so long. Maybe I should try the manga instead, because that's not as much. But then even the manga is so freaking long, and I was like, man, I've heard so many good things about this, and like people I definitely respect have told me that One Piece is absolutely amazing, but I'm still like, man, it's so much though. Oh my god, it's kind of quite a lot. It is a lot, to be honest. So I'm just yeah, maybe I'll get to One Piece at some point, but maybe not right now. Maybe in the future. Oh, bridges be rippin'. Good day to you, bestie. How are you doing? Or I'm just holding a little bit of a just chatting stream before I get my wisdom teeth pulled out tomorrow, and then I won't be chatting so much for a few days. I will only make pained gremlin sounds like the first Vivarians in Monster Hunter World, where they were talking to me, and then I was like, oh yeah, I understand that, but actually they were just making sounds. Watch Squid Game if you haven't. I'm not sure. I mean, I've had like, when was that? Was Squid Game 2 years ago or something, when it was really big? I'm just not sure if I get like into the scenario. It's like, I don't know, like society criticizing and dev games, right? Something like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say I hate stuff like Saw. I don't like, let's just call it torture, PORN. I don't like that kind of stuff at all. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get something that I want out of that series. I mean, I was very hyped and very popular, so I'm guessing it was not just stuff like Saw, but I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in it that I will enjoy, because I am just dev games sounds, I don't know, not really my thing. It's not that bad. I mean, it's funny that you say it's not that bad, because most people would say it's amazing, and you're like, it's alright, it's not that bad. It really isn't that torture focused. Okay, so it's more about maybe the interactions of the different characters and them talking about, oh no, I mean, I've seen a few memes of Squid Game, but I don't know who's going to make it and who isn't, so, but, let's see. Maybe. The gore is not that bad. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not sure. Paint gremlin sounds. I'm doing well. Slept in accidentally, so I took today off. Well then. That does sound like a comfy day, to be honest. That does sound like a comfy Tuesday. How about we all just sleep in and take the day off? That sounds extremely comfy. Maybe we should think about a kind of regulation in the Kitsune Empire for stuff like that, but not in the very important branches of stuff like, I don't know, for example, the human farms. Alternatively, watch the original Battle Royale. Oh, wait, actually, wasn't that like the movie Battle Royale, wasn't that actually also a Korean movie? I think I've actually read an article about that in the past. Wasn't that like the Battle Royale? Wasn't that? I mean, I haven't seen it, but I just watched. Was that? Did I read an article about it, or did I watch a video about it? One of the two. I think it was like. I don't like torture unless it's on my human farms. That's not what I said. I didn't say anything about torture on the human farms. I'm just saying. I like it when on these farms they treat them well, because happy humans make for happy souls and those taste better. I'm just saying. And also, if they're not stressed like that, then the meat tastes better. I'm just saying. You gotta keep them happy and natural. Don't give them too many strange medications and stuff. You gotta give them like a natural hunter-gatherer kind of stuff, so that they're like, I don't know, that their muscles are well formed, and then you can get some nice, tasty human livestock. Battle Royale was Japanese? Oh, okay. But I think it was like some with high school children, right? Where they told them to do the Battle Royale, which is kind of damn, boy. You get jealous when you see others doing the... what? I'm not even going to read that out. That is not true. I don't get jealous. I only get jealous when other people get to eat tasty meat and I don't. I want to also get the tasty, but torturing is not what I like to watch or do in any form. Only maybe if it's I don't know, something that's like just funny in the joke and like more like teasing. Teasing is fun. Kitsune is like teasing. That's right. If you count teasing and torturing, then maybe. But torturing is such a strong and ugly word. I don't like that at all. We're just doing a little bit of teasing, and then we do the harvesting and eating. Delicious. Oh boy. Battle Royale was the Japanese with kidnapped high school children. Oh boy. That sounds like an ouchie movie. Well, I tell you that I will have a nice steak tomorrow then. It's fine, because I had some steak today as well. In preparation, I was like, alright, I will have a little bit of a not so pleasant time going forward for a few days. So now, today, I'm going to have to take some time and have something nice before the evil times happen. The evil ouchie times tomorrow will start. But it's gonna be fine. I have gotten tasty today, and this will carry me over during the times when I'm not allowed to eat anything else but soup. The good soup. I'm going to get through this. Just you watch me. And nobody will be there to hear my anguished whining and spoiled princess blah blah blah. And that means nobody can prove that it ever happened. And then I'll be like, I've been so mature and strong about this. That's right. And then I'll go back to eating lots of tasty meat once again. I can still smell a little bit of that tasty steak that I had today. I want to go back and eat it again. But at the very least, today, since the stream will be a little bit shorter, that means I won't stream long enough for myself to fall back into wanting to eat more, and then at least I will not have those screeches today on stream, even though I already talked about how I would like to eat it again. But that doesn't count. I'm just mentioned it, but it's not the same. No one needs to be there, I'm sure. I can hear it. I can hear it up here. That implies that you would live somewhere above me, but that is impossible since I have the highest room in the Kitsune Empire. I live up there on my tower and look down upon the normal people while I screech, and the wind will carry away my voice since it's so far high up on my tower that it will be impossible for people on the ground to hear me screeching. That's right. And I'll make the entire building evacuate so that nobody inside the building, maybe in the floor below me, can hear the screeching. I'm sure the surgery will go well. You can also have ice cream. I remember that's what got me through my wisdom teeth surgery. Well, I did get some cooling stuff that I can put against my cheeks once I'm back home. But ice cream, I never actually thought about that. Since I don't actually eat any snacks or sweets or candy at all. So, I mean, the only thing I do in that regard is kinda like drink soda once a week on Fridays, or when special stuff happens, which I would consider getting your wisdom teeth pulled as a special thing. And when I'm what's that called? Oh, right. I thought about that in the past, that word that you can use. Tapfer. The German word Tapfer is actually not that easy to translate into English because it's not a 100% translatable word. Because usually you would probably say brave or steadfast or something, but I think Tapfer still sounds a little bit different than those words in English, but it kind of means that you are you're powering through something. You take it head on, and you are Tapfer. You can take it, and you are suffering, but you're taking it, and you're working through it. That's what Tapferkeit means. It is brave, yeah, but I don't really like it's more like, I don't know, I feel like brave is more like Mut in German, right? But, I mean, you can say you will brave the waves and something, use the word brave as a, as a verb, right? You can also do that. We braved these new lands or something like that. But I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel 100% the same. It doesn't feel 100% the same. I already talked about it. I already, before you even said that, I already said the normal translation would be brave, but I don't feel like it's 100% the same. Bravery is Tapferkeit? Yeah, I know, but not exactly the same. I mean, let me check that very quickly. Let's go. Now we're doing stuff over here. Let's see. Tapferkeit. Yeah, but Tapferkeit is all of those things, but a little bit different, right? Brave. Yeah, man, it's just, I mean, these things are a little bit together, right? But it doesn't feel 100% the same. I mean, I already talked about the fact that, yes, I did say that the translation for Tapfer was brave. I already talked about that, okay? I'm just saying that you don't have to repeat it. I'm just saying that in my personal opinion, I don't feel like it is used in exactly the same way. It has too many meanings. military does disagree with you. No, it doesn't. You can't say that because you've never been in an English military. Ha! Even if they say, oh, in Germany you get the medal for Tapferkeit, and in, I don't know, in America or England you get the medal for bravery. I still feel like you will use those words just a little bit differently on the actual use of it, right? You don't eat any snacks, and that is correct. I actually don't, because, I don't know, I feel like they don't really give me a lot of satisfaction. Like, this kind of plays into the fact that I am doing 1 meal a day, right? And I don't really do 1 meal a day because of principles, so to say. I didn't get into that because of like thinking about the health benefits or anything, but actually it happened because I kind of, so on the one hand I'm lazy, right? I don't really want to cook, but on the other side I'm also a spoiled princess and I only want to eat properly cooked meals. So in order to bring those two things together, not wanting to cook because you're lazy, but on the other hand, you only want to eat properly cooked meals, that brought me to actually just cooking a big, nice meal 1 time a day, because then that means I'm keeping the amount of work I have to do down, and on the other side, I get what I want, like a nice meal. And if I have candy or snacks and stuff like that, I always feel kind of dissatisfied. I feel like, but I would have liked to eat some meat and vegetables instead, though. And so I don't know. It kind of turned out to be convenient for me because I feel like snacks and candy are kind of really expensive. And when I look at that stuff, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't give me that much satisfaction. So instead I feel like, but how much, like, I don't know, how much meat and vegetables could you buy for that money that you would put into snacks? And I'm like, man, that sounds way better. That's amazing. Oh my God, I would love that. I'm getting fired up just thinking about that. All right, let's drink about our let's read something from our military expert, who is definitely very annoyed at me, a civilian saying some random BS but she never was in the military, so how would she know better? Let's see. 2 years service at the Royal Navy College and 1 year aboard USS Normandy. I even had to write a citation for it. Ah, this evil kitten is always so evil? I mean, I can do what I want. But I grant that brave has very many meanings. Yes. I think I'd say valor is for the conduct and brave for the disposition. I see. I kinda like those 2 words in those meanings. Candy sounds super expensive in Germany, or meat super cheap. Nah, meat, especially in the recent years, because of things happening around the world, meat has gotten very, much more expensive, unfortunately. But if you don't drink alcohol, and if you don't buy any candy or snacks, you have much more money laying around that you could use to buy meat. And as such, that's what I'm doing, because that's what makes me happy. And also, I want to be very clear with this. I'm not trying to rip on any people who don't want to eat meat, because that's about your principles, and I respect that greatly, actually. But I just feel like, I don't know, with me, always being kind of more on the side of, if anything, my weight tends to be a little bit too low rather than going upwards, and so it would be really difficult for me to sustain my 1 meal a day lifestyle, and then go ahead and not eat any meat at all, because I'm already, I don't know, I'm already trying to get on my calories because can't even do any fitness stuff if you have not enough calories, right? if you do fitness but you don't have enough calories, then you're just going to lose muscle and you're not actually gonna get fit. So that's actually a bad thing. Meat is still cheap. I don't know. I don't know what kind of income you have, but meat is not cheap for me. I'll say that much. And that's actually a really good point. Snacks are pretty expensive when you think about it. Yeah, I mean, at least for me, right? I look at snacks and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I will definitely say many snacks and stuff, they can taste good, right? They can definitely taste good. I'm not saying that I hate the taste of snacks and candy or something. It's just that it kind of feels like there's something missing for me. I feel like my body is telling me, yeah, that was pretty alright, but where's the stuff that I need right now? I feel like because of the fact that I'm like now on 1 meal a day, my body craves stuff with actual, like, I don't know, nutrients in it, right? Because it feels like I'm so used to only having like 1 meal a day. And then if I actually, I don't know, try something like, let me think about this. On Christmas, we had some little chocolate balls like laying around, just like mostly for decoration, but also just for trying. And then I tried one of them and I was like, well, this is all right. But my body told me, I felt like, at least, I mean, this is all just me talking about feelings, right? This is not some sciencey blah blah, but it just it just felt like my body was disappointed in me because it felt like, hey, no, you can't just have your 1 meal a day be this. I need nutrients, I need protein, I need the good stuff, right? Oh my god, please give me the vitamins and the nutrients and the protein. And I was like, it's fine. We're gonna have the big fat tasty the Christmas food soon, the savory stuff with it's gonna be fine, don't worry. Those are the kinds of feelings I kind of have when I'm eating that kind of stuff, or at the very least, if I remember correctly. I'm struggling to remember when the last time was. Like I said, Christmas, like 1 chocolate ball thingy, and before that, I don't even know. I had a funny situation in the past where I actually had I had some chocolate that was gifted to me on Easter, but that was, I don't know, 3 years in the past, and I never touched the chocolate Easter bunnies. And then they actually they expired. And I've never had actually like chocolate expire, but that happened to those chocolate Easter bunnies because I don't know, I opened my fridge because I liked to eat my chocolate very, very cold. So I always kept it in the fridge. I liked that a lot in the past as a kid. So, I don't know, I still kept that there. And then I opened the fridge and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't really feel like eating any chocolate. So let me get that, I don't know. It's funny to say broccoli because broccoli is such a memed vegetable that everyone is like, oh no, children ate broccoli, we have to make children eat the broccoli. But nowadays I'm like, oh yeah, you can cook it, you can even fry it, and that's I don't know, actually tastes pretty good, and it's also like has some pretty good nutrients, so that's actually pretty good. Illamite, good day to you. Hopefully you're also having a very chill Tuesday. Well, we're talking about comfy stuff before I am very uncomfy tomorrow for my wisdom teeth surgery. Whoopsie. Meat is still cheap. Compared to something like that energy drink stuff, it is still comparable cheap. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I only drink I buy soda so I can drink it on Friday because Friday is my happy day, my comfy day. But I think energy drinks are more expensive than soda, right? But I don't know how much energy drinks actually cost. Cheap meat is cheap, good meat is expensive. Yeah, I still remember trying out different meats and I was like, especially with like with pork, I think you can definitely tell it's really, really bad. Cheap pork is like, oh my god, I don't even want to think about it. I'm kind of feeling a little bit sick just thinking about it. But cheap pork is not good. I think cheaper chicken is probably more easy to accept, but it's still also not that cool. Like, I don't really want to. I mean, I'm using the money that I'm not spending on alcohol and the money that I'm not spending on candy and snacks to buy some alright meat, alright? I mean, I'm not someone who can just buy, I don't know, $20 steak every day or something, but I try to get some decent stuff. Cheap meat is cheap, good meat is expensive. I mean, it is all okay meat over here. They have to abide very strict EU guidelines. I mean, that's true, but it can still be quite, you know, meh. It can still, even if it doesn't kill you, it can still taste kinda meh. And I'm trying to dodge both of those things. As a good French, I only eat frog and snail. Not so sure. Not so sure about that. Joyce Susan, good day to you. Comfy days, hopefully. Comfy Tuesday. Sure, I could go to the butcher and get a very good cut of fresh meat, or get some venison from a hunter, but that is so rare. I mean, yeah, but I mean, that's just, I mean, there are definitely like clear differences between some of the like cheaper meats and more more medium and then expensive meats, right? I'm trying to strike a good balance with what I can afford and still have like some decent quality, because it's scary to think about where some of these cheaper meats come from. All meat is expensive in the Netherlands. I don't understand how people dislike broccoli, even children, and sprouts. I'm not sure, because I don't really remember. I don't remember having like big problems with stuff in the past as a child. Definitely also because my mom spoiled me and cooked some just stuff that I loved. That too. But also, I don't really remember, like, when my mom makes broccoli, it tastes awesome. But I also think children have a little bit like a different taste buds, right? And they just perceive some stuff differently than grown-ups. But I feel like, I mean, I often joke about being mentally 14-year-old, but I also think my taste buds are kinda also still 14 years old. I still like the same stuff and dislike the same stuff that I disliked at 14 or something around that area. Like, I don't know, I still love soda the most for anything like to drink or something, or like some fruit juice, stuff like that, and I don't like any alcohol at all. It doesn't taste good to me. It makes me feel sick, even if I don't have like a lot of alcohol itself in there. It's just, I don't know, I can't take it. Energy drink is that cheap? €1.29 per 250 milliliter is the cheapest for energy drink. Maybe it's different in Germany and the Netherlands. It was 0.72 for 500 milliliters on Monsters in the Netherlands in October. Oh wow. And that definitely feels like it's a little bit different between our neighboring countries. Broccoli was my favorite veggie since my birth. That's pretty based. I really can't tell you how much the cheap energy stuff is. I get a Red Bull if I want to mix it with vodka. Oh, but I strongly dislike Red Bull. I've tried it one time in my entire life and then I was like, thanks, goodbye. And vodka is like, it's alcohol, but but even worse. Like it's like strong alcohol, right? And I'm like, no, please no. Oh my god, please no. And mixing those two sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. My mom makes very good bread, probably because she's French. I don't drink very much energy drinks. I prefer apple juice. I love apple juice as well. Like, I think apple juice is the juice that I enjoy the most. For soda, it's like the regional thing Spezi, which is kind of like a cola but mixed with a little bit more fruity stuff. And if it's juice, then definitely apple juice as well. I'm even like I'm even diluting the apple juice just a little bit with water, because then it feels less overwhelming for me. I rated the entire Edeka for the monsters. 500 milliliters monster is removed from almost all stores in the Netherlands. There are differences with meats and with vodkas. It's alright. I will definitely just go ahead and concede the fact that there are probably big differences in good and bad and cheap and expensive alcohols or spirits. But I'm just saying, I can't even, like, I don't know, if something has like 1% alcohol or something, I'll still taste it and I won't like it. So I am literally unable to appreciate the difference in good or bad alcohol or spirits, because like you can give me some, I don't know, you can give me a $2 wine and you can give me a $500 wine, and I'll smell it and I'll be like, that smells like alcohol. I don't like it. So unfortunately, I'm definitely unable to be a cultured person that would ever be able to appreciate the differences in good spirits, because I just don't like the alcohol. It makes my, I don't know, it makes me shiver in disgust. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but just I feel like it's a bitter, a sickening kind of bitterness that I feel instantly once I drink a little bit of alcohol. And it's not even like, I mean, obviously, since I don't drink, it means I won't be able to, what's it called? I won't be able to take much alcohol, right? Without getting drunk or something. But that's not even the point. The point for me is that it just makes me feel uncomfortable right from the start. And just because of the taste. It's not even about feeling like drunk or tipsy or something like that. It's just about me disliking the taste and being like, please, no, I don't like it. Please give me soda instead. Please give my 14-year-old taste buds some more soda, please. Apple juice with peppermint tea. I'm not so sure about that. Healthy juice is kinda mega expensive here, unfortunately. Alcohol is still a drug and it isn't really cultured. I mean, I would agree with you, it's just that alcohol is so ingrained in many cultures that it's basically like a national, I don't know, national treasure. It's like people talk about, oh no, we don't like drugs, but then they like alcohol a lot, and they talk about drugs, but they like to say they like to not count alcohol as drugs, even though it is definitely. Alcohol is a neurotoxin. Yep. I enjoy it for relaxation, and if I drink something, I pay a little more so it doesn't taste so shit. It is culture, but not cultured. Oh, I'll have to think about that, because I'm not sure I can actually get behind that, because oh yeah, I'm not sure. Not necessarily for me. So like I said, I'm not someone who can appreciate differences and intricacies with those kinds of drinks, because it's literally all just making me uncomfortable. Like, I think the thing I've tried that made me the least bit uncomfortable, but I still didn't like it, was some ciders. I forgot what that was. Like maybe it was an Irish one. I think it was called Strongbow or something. That was like an apple cider or something. That really doesn't have a lot of like alcohol percentage, but I still tasted it and was like, yeah, I'm sorry, no. I will never be able to. I won't say never say never. But so far, I was completely unable to just enjoy drinking anything that had alcohol in it. Just for the joy of it, I cannot do it so far. Maybe that will change. Maybe I'll have to turn 300. Currently, I'm 211. Wait, let me think about this. 11? Yes. I know how old I am. Stop asking me. I am 211. But once I turn 300, I'm sure, maybe I'll be able to appreciate it more. I don't know, I'm not sure. Strongbow has more than a beer. Then maybe I felt like it was different because beer makes me feel sick. And not just the usual alcohol dislike, but just beer in general makes me feel sick. So that was probably something that changed the experience for me and made me think, oh, it's probably because of more alcohol. But actually it was just because I especially dislike beer. A good white wine from my uncle's plantation at the Mosul is a very nice drink. I'm sure it is, but I'm not what's that called? Not prepared. I'm looking for another word that you can use. I am not equipped. That was the word. I am not equipped to actually be able to appreciate it. I need to be equipped with different taste buds, apparently. It is fruity. That's why it's tasty. I mean, a connoisseur. How nice. I'm doing my best over here, but that's just so difficult to think about. I mean, I feel like trying to empathize with thinking about, okay, how could this actually taste good is kind of difficult for me. Because I have such a strong reaction to it that I have to think about, okay, how would this taste, but without alcohol? And then people would probably say, oh no, you can't just think about that because it tastes completely different without alcohol. But that's probably the only pathway for me to actually try and empathize with things maybe tasting good that have alcohol in them, right? If I just imagined that I didn't have this kind of strong uncomfortable reaction to it. Also drinks of alcoholic variation. In France, there's a sort of wine for children who do not contain alcohol. It's called champomy. Oh, I hope I pronounced that right. Probably not, but that's actually cute. I should actually try that out, right? I've made some notes today. I will note down this kind of wine for children, and then maybe I'll be able to appreciate some good culture, some good French culture. I would love to do that, actually. Champomy, in quotation marks, wine for children with no alcohol. Right. People will probably look at me strangely if I want to buy that. Yeah, you're a bit tall for a kid. You can buy alcohol, right? And I'm like, it's fine. I'm buying this. I want this one. Thank you. It's fine. Robbie Bubbles sect. That sounds strange. But it has to be a German thing, right? I mean, it sounds German. And if that's the case, then it's probably not as good. I would say, like, I'm not sure. I mean, it's funny of me to have reservations of like for different spirits or not spirits from different regions, since I can't even appreciate any of them anyways. But I would think that I would rather try some French or some Italian wine, if anything. It is German? Alright then. I don't know, maybe it's just because my family has a great appreciation of some of our European neighbors and not a lot of appreciation for our own country's wine. I'm probably a little bit biased because of that. But it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and I noted down the shampoo me, and I will see if I can find some near me, and then I'll try it out, I think. That sounds like fun. Port wine? Port wine, is that a wine without alcohol? Because I hope you don't think I'm making fun of you, because I literally don't know. I'm just genuinely asking because I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. It's also like the same about some of the drinks that you can have, like in, I don't know, bars or clubs or something, right? Or you go to, like, I don't know, even in a restaurant you can order some drinks. And sometimes people talk to me about drinks that they like or something, and I'm like, I have literally no idea what this is. Like, one thing that I at least know is that my big brother likes gin, and I only smelled it a little bit, and I'm like, oh my god, this seems so bitter, and so, oh my god, this is like, even if it didn't have alcohol, I'd be like, oh my god, no, please, no, please, oh god. Port wine is not without alcohol, but it is very sweet. Very, very, very sweet. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure my specialized taste buds that are specialized to be racist against alcohol or something will probably still be able to taste the alcohol in it, and then I'll be like, oh, it is very sweet, but I'm not sure. Just had my wisdom teeth, and damn it, I have that little YouTube heart-shaped thingy in front of that word, so I just have to do some funny stuff so I can actually read that word. One moment. Just had my wisdom teeth and one molar removed last year. Oh damn, I hope that wasn't too bad for you, since I don't know, I heard it's kinda different depending on whether the wisdom teeth are like already like grown out and they're not inside the flesh anymore or something. And also like depends on like the direction they grew and so on. So I hope it went alright for you and you didn't have to suffer too much. I'm more from the southwest of France. This is generally where we produce most of the wine in France. Huh? French? It's weird, but for French, I don't really like wine. I mean, that's fine because I'm German and I probably dislike beer most out of most spirits. I mean, gin is also something, like I said, which I can't even smell it without breaking into, like, I don't know, like a tantrum of saying, oh, it's so bitter, oh god, I can't, no, please, no. But also beer, it just makes me feel sick instantly. So you're in good company over here, not appreciating what some would consider some of our national drinks, perhaps. But it's fine. It's all about like feeling comfortable and being happy, right? And if it doesn't make you happy and if you can't appreciate it, then that's just how it is. Just make sure that, you know, you can be happy that you don't have to spend money on that, and you can just be like me and then say, all the money that I don't spend on alcohol and on candy, I can just use for some tasty food instead. Gotta see the upsides. Also, like one of the funny things about alcohol is, I mean, I kind of forget that people sometimes get drunk, right? Sometimes I'm like just on the internet, and then I talked about, I don't know, where like some stuff happened where like, man, this person seemed super strange and unhinged today, and I'm like, oh, why was that so different? And then some of my friends tell me, you know, maybe they were just drunk, and I'm like, oh my god, that's true. People can actually get drunk. I didn't even think about that, which is mildly hilarious. Yeah, you may not like the wine, but you like bread, cheese, and Napoleon. Those are some things you can definitely like. Did you watch the new Napoleon movie though? Because I heard that it's very much not historically accurate, and actually, yeah, a little bit aggravating in that part. Like, I've heard that it has a great many things just made up or changed, and I feel like I'm not even specifically talking about that period of time, but in general, if like a movie is about something historical, and I don't necessarily mean like Robin Hood, because Robin Hood is historically a little bit difficult to track, so to say, and there's some theories about who could have been the real Robin Hood and what he actually did and so on, but there's no like historical consensus, unlike people like people like Napoleon, right? People very much know what actually happened with him and what he actually did, and in that case, I would definitely consider stuff like that to have like a higher demand for historical accuracy, in my opinion, because I mean, usually you always have to change some things around while making a movie, because you have to think about the pacing and how stuff feels in succession and so on, what you have to cut, and maybe you will just unite some things that actually happened in different times, just so you can get like the plot rolling a little bit faster, right? But when stuff just gets imagined and then put into a movie that never happened, and it's quite strange and doesn't really fit what actually happened and realistically and historically, then I think it's pretty strange, definitely, and I don't really like it. But I assume that the action in the movie Napoleon was probably pretty cool, and the costumes and stuff like that, I think, were probably also pretty cool. But stuff like I didn't watch the movie, but one of the scenes was in the trailers, where he actually told his people to fire cannons on the pyramids in Egypt, which I don't think ever happened. And people were like, "Yeah, why you gotta display him as such a strange guy, right?" And definitely feel like that's a strange thing, and I wouldn't like that, to be honest. I think if you want to make a historical movie, you should at least be not too crazily liberal with how you use the actual source material. Haven't watched the movie, but want to watch it so bad. There's nothing I can do. I live in just a village where the woman of Napoleon lived. Oh, cool. And that's interesting, actually. I don't know enough about that, actually, to know what that is. But you talked about that you're living in the southwest, where a lot of the wine is produced. So that's probably pretty nice. I really like the what's that called in English? Like the wine plantations. I mean, nowadays people don't like the word plantation anymore, but I don't know like a good translation for that. The wine estates nowadays, I think they are just really beautiful. I'm not sure how, but it has just such a certain kind of beautiful style of all of the grapes, and I don't know, it's just that just looks beautiful. And I actually enjoy eating grapes quite a bit as well. That way I can appreciate it as well, even if I don't like the wine that they make out of it. because I can't appreciate it, unfortunately. But I can definitely appreciate the grapes themselves, so that's cool. So, let's think about this. Like, one of the things I'm looking forward to tomorrow, I know that sounds strange, but I think tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, a new patch for League of Legends will drop. And there, one of my favorite characters will gain some great buffs. So, once I get home and I hold some cooling stuff against my cheeks, then I'll open up some streams and then will watch high-level players play my favorite champion and hopefully do well, because those buffs are absolutely ridiculous and bonkers, and I'm sure he's gonna be absolutely overpowered. And that's gonna be fun. If I can't play him, at least other people will play him for me, and then it's gonna be fun to watch. Oh, and it's just a moment. I was looking at some stuff, and I took care of it. Don't worry, I did take care of it. No worries. It has been taken care of. You don't know what it is, but it has been taken care of. Take relief in that. So, I'm also thinking what I should be playing during the times where I can't stream, because, like, in the last few weeks I've been playing mostly Monster Hunter World and also League of Legends. But I'm thinking, since these days in Genshin Impact, there's like the biggest festival of the year where you can get lots of free stuff. Lantern Rite, which is definitely totally not the Chinese New Year, by the way. Definitely not. I will probably check that out, since, I don't know, I think I only want to actually stream Genshin when there's a new main story happening. But like, I don't know, yearly festivals, I'm not so sure if that's something I would stream. I mean, if I was a main Genshin Impact streamer, then probably, obviously. But I feel like it's not as interesting to watch as the actual story, the actual plot. I actually quite enjoyed that the last time around, except for one single chapter. What was that? I think that was chapter 3, the Fortress of Meropide or something, where you were just running around and trying to solve mysteries in some prison or something. And I was like, yeah, man. After streaming that, I was like, on stream, I was like, yeah, that wasn't so great, to be honest. I hope next chapter is better. But other than that, I actually found it quite enjoyable and I liked it. I don't have a PC, but if one day I have one, I'll play LOL all day. Looking forward to that. But also, you gotta take great care, because people in League of Legends can be so mean. Do you play Honkai Star Rail? I do, actually. But recently, like, it's been a while since I've actually streamed it. Let me think about it. I think it's been at least a few months since I've actually streamed Honkai Star Rail. I did stream my, the most recent Honkai Star Rail stream I did was actually my rolls for Jingliu and for Jingliu's weapon. And other than that, I usually only stream the story. But I've kind of grown a little bit of, I'm not so sure about that. I didn't really enjoy myself recently so much, at the very least. I finished the Shunjo Lawfu story, and then I looked at, alright, what's the next story chapter about? And then it was like about, I don't know, it was with Topaz and her space taxes or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm not so sure about that, fam. I mean, thanks, okay. I mean, I'm just, you know, maybe that's not really the kind of stuff that I would feel very attached to and very, very interested in that kind of story, right? I've actually played Honkai Impact 3rd. I'm also playing Genshin, like I said. And I was kind of invested in those stories. I mean, Honkai Impact 3rd story is kind of finished now, and but Genshin is still ongoing. But for Honkai Star Rail, I'm not so sure at the moment. I really like the Foxian girls. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like the Bellabog story was really nice, because in Bellabog you're like on the ground, you actually talk to people, and it all feels like very kind of intimate in scale, right? You have like a plot going on between humans and what's happening and their struggles and so on. And the more they are going forward, it feels like we're getting some more talk about the eons and so on. And it just feels kind of too far removed from what feels relatable and normal. And I kind of didn't appreciate that so much. And also, they kind of, I don't know, left it up in the air whether my favorite character in the game, Ting Yun, actually, I mean, spoiler alert, but they left it up in the air if my favorite character, Ting Yun, actually maybe is, I mean, most likely dead. And they even gave her a funeral, even though they didn't find her body. And I'm like, yeah, man, you killed my favorite character. And now your story is kind of going in a, I don't know. I don't really know why I should be invested in the Honkai Star Rail story. I feel like I super enjoyed Bellabog, and then we kind of went off onto another planet. I mean, a planet-sized ship, one of the planet-sized ships of the Shanzhou. And then I've always felt like the scale was so zoomed out that I stopped caring about the world, kind of. Feels like it's too much. It's difficult to describe, but it's a little bit difficult for me to appreciate at the moment. I definitely feel like that the part that interests me most about the Honkai Star Rail story nowadays is probably how many things they have that actually connected to Honkai Impact 3rd. Because I still hold those characters dear, and I would like to see where that goes. Like, as far as I know, Welt is actually literally the character from Honkai Impact 3rd, right? And so they actually have like a 100% true and not just a fan theory kind of connection between these two games. And so I'm hoping that we will find some more interesting stuff in those two connections. But other than that, yeah, it's a little bit difficult for me at the moment. I feel like since Acheron is apparently another expat of Raiden Mei from Honkai Impact 3rd, so I'm interested and I want to roll for her, even though I haven't played in a long time and I only logged in to get some free rolls. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually get her, but I'm gonna try. So I'm going to stream my rolls for Acheron, definitely. But I'm not sure if I'm going to continue streaming the story sometime soon. I'm not sure yet, because I just don't feel too invested at the moment. Lawfu's story was a bit slow, likely, and strange. But yeah, definitely. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. It was a little bit. On the one hand, they are so incredibly advanced that they can make planet-sized spaceships, and on the other hand, they have like, I don't know, they get outplayed by some old tree. I mean, it sounds strange, but like their connection of being on the one hand like mythical creatures with the dragons, and on the other hand super advanced, but then also get easily outplayed by random stuff, felt really strange. And on the other hand, it's, yeah, the scale is just kinda pretty damn off on that, I feel like. Rib and pepperoni pizza with extra cheese. Oh no, not my potting Yun. Game played by a tree. Yeah, I mean, kinda, right? It's like, I don't know, it's magic and science combined, but it's both kinda silly. You can't trust them. Also, their fighter jets were underwhelming. Wait, they did have fighter jets? Those looked like boats with jet engines to me. So more like, I don't know, more like Venetian gondolas with fighter jets propulsion or something like that. Wushuan is cool. Let me see. I mean, I kind of like her style, but I'm a little bit... it's just unfortunate that she's so small. Kind of makes me... Their boats are fighter jets, yes. I only play for Blade. Ah, I see. So, like I said, for me, my favorite character is Tingyun. And then recently I also liked Jing Liu quite a bit. I think she looks really nice, even though she's not a Foxian, which is of course a shame. But other than that, she's pretty cool. Even though like her English dub is a little bit interesting. Like at first, I felt like, oh no, it's not a good voice actor. But then I actually got into it a little bit more, and I actually heard from the voice actress herself that like the person in the sound studio where they were recording, like the voice director, she is the actress and they were the voice director, and the voice director told her to make these strange sounds and sound so strangely, I don't know, one part unhinged but the other part, I don't know, aroused or something, and I found it really, really weird, and it made me want to switch to the Japanese dub. I mean, usually, if I'm just playing on my own, I'm always going to choose the Japanese dub if there is one in the game. Or at the very least, if it's like the original dub for a game, then I'll choose Japanese. In this case, obviously, the game is actually Chinese, but I still just enjoy the Japanese dub a lot, so I'm usually picking that. But because I started playing Honkai Star Rail with the express intent of streaming it, I actually picked out the English dub for that, so that it's easier for people to follow and to appreciate, because if you're actually watching a stream, you don't always want to go ahead and also read the subtitles, right? Very often you're just not necessarily completely focusedly watching a stream, but you're also just keeping it on maybe in the background, and you just enjoy what you're hearing and stuff. And it's then easier to follow for people if it's the English dub, since I'm also speaking English. But that's just something I like to do because it's just nicer for my viewers. Even though in Genshin I actually stayed with the Japanese dub because I've already played it for since release, so I don't know, 3 years or something. And I always played it with the Japanese dub from the beginning, so I didn't want to switch there. But for Honkai Star Rail, I just decided I'm just gonna go with the English dub right from the start, and then everybody is going to be happy. And I feel like the one dub that you start with just kind of grows on you anyways, and then it feels like this is the definitive experience for you, like in terms of feeling, because that's the one that you heard when you got to know all of these characters. So it kind of automatically sets it in stone that you like that one more often than not. Kind of like I'm not sure if that's the right word, confirmation bias. The one that you already know is the one you're going to prefer over most other stuff. I think that's how it works. And so it's not that, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, but just in terms of like Jing Liu's voiceover, it was kind of a very, very harsh case where I thought, okay, the voice director told the voice actress to make these strange sounds and sound so strange and weird, and I don't really like it. And the unfortunate thing about that is also in all the other dubs, like in Chinese, in Korean, and in Japanese, I checked them all out, and she sounded nothing like that in all the other dubs. And somehow the English voice director told her to be so weird and strange, and I just didn't appreciate that very much. But I guess sometimes you can't have everything you want. There was a new update today in Honkai Star Rail. Ah, yes. I think now they actually introduced a new character, Black Swan, right? I think she looks gorgeous. She does look gorgeous. I'm just gonna say that. Otherwise, I don't know. I'll probably wait until more of the story has been spoiled to me. And then I'll decide if I'm interested or if I'm not interested. And then I'll decide if I'm going to continue streaming the story. But also, I'm not sure. Since I finished the Lawfu story, will I actually be able to jump straight to the new story that has been released today? Or do I actually have to go and also play the interludium stories, like the Balaborg Space Texas story, stuff like that? Because if I'm being honest with you, I would love to simply just go ahead and skip all of that. I'm not interested in Topaz and her little pork boy. I mean, we could maybe eat that guy, but other than that, I'm not really interested. And also, I'm not really interested in a space tax story. So I would just enjoy if I could just jump to the new story. That would be pretty cool. Personally, I really love the music. Yeah, I feel like Hoyoverse, like with Honkai Impact, with Genshin, and with Star Rail as well, they just make some beautiful music. A lot of that was also with Yupeng Chen. I'm pretty sad that he's like left the company for now, but I still think they still have like a great team, like with Hoyomix, who make just great music, and I'm looking forward to getting more music from them in the future. Like most of the Genshin boss musics, like the songs, I also really enjoy. They're pretty cool. And the moment in Honkai Star Rail, in the first story, the Balaborg story, the final moments where you're fighting Cocolia in her ice form, and then Wildfire plays, and that was pretty hype, not gonna lie. I mean, I have that on video. I mean, I have that on my stream What's on YouTube, so you can check that if you want. But I was definitely hyped about that. I was like, damn, that's some great music and moment. That was pretty epic. I already have Black Swan. Oh, cool. Hopefully she's good as well. I didn't really check whether like she's a strong character or not so strong, or what she even does. But I hope she's not just gorgeous, which she is, but also useful. I'm right, you can skip, but I'm not sure. Alright then, I'll have to check that out. And then, once I know whether it sounds good, I'll know whether I would like to skip right ahead and then play the story, or whether it sounds like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. But at the very least, like I said, I'm at least a little bit interested in Acheron, because she's, pretty sure, a expat of Raiden Mei from Honkai Impact 3rd, so... And we still haven't heard anything about Kiana, not in Honkai Star Rail and not in Genshin as well. I mean, in Genshin, we saw, like, her other part, like her evil twin sister, so to say. The Herrscher of the Void personality, so to say, in her form in Genshin as the sustainer of heavenly principles, but it's been literally since release, and since then we haven't seen her anymore, so I really want to know what's going on with her. They have to bring us more stuff with Celestia and what she's doing. Susti, I think, what is her demon name that was determined? Asmodee, I think, was her demon name that was determined. Could still be that they are changing the name for her going forward, but it kind of like that name grew on me a little bit because Sustainer of Heavenly Principles is a little bit too long to pronounce every single time, and Asmodee is a cool demon name, just like for the other Archons. Personally, my team is Blade, Bronya, Dr. Ratio, Bailu. Ah, that sounds like a pretty nice team actually. Like I heard, Dr. Ratio is something everyone got for free, right? But I also heard that he's actually an extremely good single target thing. And then you have Blade for destruction, having a little bit of AoE. And then Bronya for buffs, Bailu for sustain. Sounds pretty chill and cool. My current team is Jingliu, Bronya, Tingyun, and Bailu. So I'm basically playing a Jingliu hyper carry team, if I'm playing, which at the moment I'm not really doing. But should I go on and play some more Honkai Star Rail, I will definitely use that again. Because I was like, I'm playing Honkai Star Rail completely free to play, so I had to make some choices. Like, alright, what would I like to, in which character do I want to invest in order to make my my account a little bit stronger, so it's chill to play. But on the other hand, also, I only want to roll for characters that I actually like and who have a high sympathy rating for me, right? And so I decided Jingliu looks very nice and she looks very cool. And she's also very strong, so that was definitely a good choice for me to roll on her. With Acheron, on the other hand, I haven't really heard whether she's going to be strong or weak yet, but I definitely want to roll for her just for sympathy's sake, because she looks very cool and because she's Raiden Mei in a different world. And I also invested heavily in my Raiden A in Genshin Impact, and I just like that character a lot in every universe. I'm just hoping they will all get their Kiana. Come on, man. Oh no. That's not confirmation bias. I mean, it's been a little bit while I talked about that, but I see. Whoopsie. Familiarity preference. Oh yeah, that was the right one. Where I talked about that you like the thing the most that you've heard first. That's the familiarity preference. That reminds me of when they changed Barbara's voice to be less energetic and tomboyish. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I don't think anyone ever asked for that, which is just a little bit strange. Especially since that happened even after she was released and in the game for quite some time, right? They went back and changed her after she was released. For Jingliu, at the very least, that's just how she was released. And but I'm still not happy about it. Of how they forced the voice actress to have those strange, kind of weird manners of speech and constantly using those kinds of raspy, a little bit sultry voices, which I don't know why they did that. It feels so weird to me. It weirds me out every single time. I hope I won't see her too soon in the story, otherwise I'll just probably go like, oh my god, man, I can't listen to this. Anyways, I'm so sad I don't have Jingliu. Oh yeah, she's really strong. I mean, I can recommend using her. In Genshin, I only play Neuvillette and Tigneri. Ooh, I see. Interesting. And what's the rest of your team between Neuvillette and Tigneri, actually? Or Tainari, as they wanted them to pronounce it for some reason. Have to think about this. In Genshin, I've been playing so long in Genshin that my team is kind of strong enough that I can just do whatever in the overworld and can just do what I want. So I'm mostly just running around with my team of favorites, my team of favorite tall ladies, which is Raiden, Rosaria, Dia, and on top of that, Jean. I like that team a lot, actually. All tall ladies. And I have some healing, I have some fun whatever stuff. I can absolutely destroy some stuff with Raiden if I want to. And also I can just use her E to constantly run and destroy some random funny boys while I'm using my physical Rosaria to deal some damage to smaller enemies. And I haven't played Abyss in a very long while, but I always used Raiden Hyper Carry on one of my teams. And the second one I used on Abyss most of the time, I think, was using kind of how would you call that? Yeah, Miko Hyper Bloom, probably. It was Miko, it was Nahida, Kokomi, and Venti. Because if there were a lot of like enemies that you could just pull together with Venti, and then you could just use all of the other things basically just running by themselves, it was just very chill. And I mean, it wasn't very difficult to play that because it's all just, I mean, it just happens by itself basically, right? You just use all of your abilities and then they kill. It happens by itself. It feels less active than playing Raiden Hypercarry, where you're just using all of the ultimates from your other characters, and then you get to her and you get a big burst, and then you get the beautiful animations of her sword Muso Ishin as well. Just very satisfying. I don't remember too much. It's been a little time. I don't play Genshin. Ah, I see. So you haven't played Genshin in some while. So, similar for me with Honkai Star Rail. We'll see how the new story turns out there, and maybe if I will return. Rest in peace, dear. Oh boy. Oh yeah, let's not talk about that. I've talked about her in the past. Man, and I love her so much, and I'm so unhappy that she feels so lame to play and that they made her so weak. It's really a shame, because I love her personality, how they wrote her in the story, what role she plays, and how cool she looks, how beautiful and cool she looks. And then gameplay doesn't really measure up to all of these things. Hydration check. I'll take a little sip of water. Alright. Well then, so we're probably about reaching the end of this stream. Like I said, today I don't have as much time, which is why I even started up a just chatting stream, which normally I like to play video games, but today I have to go to bed earlier, since tomorrow is the big wisdom teeth removal day, and I'll have to get there early. And also I have to go and have some breakfast, apparently, since that helps with the circulation or whatever. And which I'm not used to, so since I just have one meal a day usually, I don't actually have to think about how much time I have to spend making and eating breakfast. So now I'll have to plan in some extra time to actually get that stuff going for tomorrow. Alright then, let's actually go ahead and call it a day then. We went up to about 2 hours, which was still quite fun. We are talking about noodles and screeching and ara pasta and ara soup, which I quickly stopped talking about because I didn't want to go there, at the very least not in public. And yeah. Now I actually feel a little bit better about tomorrow. I feel like I'm now mentally prepared just a little bit for tomorrow, if that is possible. And, well, it's gonna be interesting to see how I'll be able to sustain the damage and then pick myself up again and keep walking. And then as soon as I can, I'll be back to streaming, probably going forward with Monster Hunter World at first, because I'm still so hyped about that game, even though I've already like went through the normal campaign and the Iceborne campaign, and I'm still so happily just going around hunting more stuff, and I'm kind of excited to try Elatrian, which I've been told that you can actually also beat him alone. So if it's not like a Safichiva raid where you can do it alone, but it's gonna take you like 6 hours or something, I don't really want to do that, since that's not really, it's not balanced for a single person and it's just gonna take way too long. But apparently Elatrian is actually also balanced for a single person. So I want to work my way towards that guy, and then also in the future Fatalis. I would also like to try that particular dragon. I have no idea about any of their like mechanics and stuff, abilities they can do and so on, but I'm definitely excited to see and try. Maybe I'm pretty sure I'll maybe read a guide for what they do before I fight them, and just because sometimes there's just fights like that, like special fights like that, often have like mechanics that you just have to know, or you'll just die, and it's a little bit annoying. And I don't know, I don't really want to just die the first 3 times just because I didn't know that I have 2-slot blight resistance for him. I mean, I heard about that at the very least, so I'm mentioning it. But at the very least, I want to know if there's something that will absolutely brutalize me if I don't know it the first few times. So, I mean, and the rest of the stuff, I will definitely then just pick up while fighting, I guess. Balanced in quotation mark for one person? Well, that sounds interesting. Guess I'll see. He has so much health. I actually looked at his HP in the wiki, and he has like more than double the amount of HP than a normal monster does. Like, I think normal monsters most of the time have like 21,000 HP, and he has like 44k for a solo person, I think. And Fatalis had even more, so that was crazy. That was like the one thing that I looked up for those 2 dragons, actually, how much HP they have. And yeah, apparently it's gonna be a long fight, especially as a solo person. You'd have to eat more than once due to medications you'll be taking. Oh, right. True, actually, they might give me some painkillers or something, probably. But I'm sure the doctor is going to tell me how I should handle things and how to do stuff. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Elytrian has an element check in order to stop it. Insta-killing with its supernova. Well, that's good to know. Well, then I'll definitely look up that one, because thanks for telling me, because I will definitely not be too happy about this, just going into the fight with my normal equipment and then seeing, oh, you just get insta-killed if you don't do this. This is exactly what I was talking about. So thanks for mentioning it. I'll look it up, and then maybe in the future we'll be able to get to Elytrian. But I'll be honest with you, before I do that, I'll definitely play until I'm Master Rank 100 first, because I know that he was released after I stopped playing in the past, and we definitely had like Master Rank 100 before that, which means everyone tried Elytrian with super augmented and maxed out gear that you could have after Master Rank 100, and I don't see why I should handicap myself and hamstring myself if this thing has literally more than double the HP than normal monsters. So, won't see me suffer in that way at the very least. That insta-kill is why Greatsword Elytrian is so hard. You do too little elemental damage with Greatsword. Oh, I see. Yes, I've heard about that in the past, that Greatsword elemental damage is basically null in the void. Because it's kind of, how did that work actually? I think it's about how many hits you get in, and not really about how strong the hits are. And that's why dual blades are so good with elemental stuff, and why Greatsword is bad. Because Greatsword has few hits, but strong hits. And but it only goes after how many hits you have with elemental damage, and so that's why it's not so good, unfortunately. In my opinion, they could have just changed that. They should just increase the elemental application of Greatswords, and then, all right, you're done. You're good to go. Why not do that? But I'm not a developer, and I couldn't look into their heads, and maybe there's just a genius reason why they won't do that. Heck yeah, Master Rank 100 is where the cool stuff is. I'll definitely go ahead and feast myself on some tasty Master Rank 100 augmentations for my awesome sword. That much is clear. But I also heard that you talked about how there's the element check for Elytrian, so maybe I'll have to look at another sword than the one I'm currently using. Maybe I can use my ice sword. Maybe I'll have to check. Maybe telling me a guide. Hey, what's the best elemental longsword to use on Elytrian? Please tell me. Thank you. So, that's that. And now it is unfortunately time for me to go ahead and call it a day, which I already talked about, but I was getting too much into Monster Hunter again. But thanks for that, because I simply enjoyed talking about that kind of stuff. And now, unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye for today. And then also, not just for today, but also for probably a few days. So I hope I'll just recover pretty quickly from the wisdom teeth from ouchie stuff. But yeah, I'll just come back as soon as I feel like I won't sound like a first Vivarian anymore. Just like that. So hopefully you guys will have some enjoyable days. And I'll see you once I'm back and healed and recovered. And then we're gonna do some more hunting and some more, maybe some more leak screeching if Vanguard hasn't been applied yet. And then also at some point maybe some more Red Dead Redemption 2. And then maybe even some more games which I haven't even revealed yet. But it's gonna be good. And until I'm back and until I've stopped whining and throwing spoiled princess temper tantrums, I'll just once again go ahead and say thank you. Let me just go ahead and look for the... here's my beloved lo-fi most favorite outro music. I'm going to start that up now and say thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon and have a good time and take care. Good night.